Hey guys, Brady here with your daily tennis lesson. So we're looking this week at maximizing your guys' serves. Today we're looking at spinning the tennis ball on the serve. Spinning the ball is so important. First thing I can think of is that when I spin the ball, it creates a really tricky bounce for the returner usually, okay? Most players in the, all the way up to 4-5 level, if you gave them a really flat serve, even if it was more powerful than a spinny serve, are usually going to be able to time it and swing at it just easier than a ball that moves around the tennis court, okay? So, first and foremost, be able to have command of slice and hopefully kick for some of you more advanced players, just to get that ball dancing around the tennis court. Which leads me into a returner that's now having to deal with a ball that's dancing around. I always feel like there's a much better chance that if I've got Mark over there, way better chance he's going to kind of mishit his return or even shank it off of a decent spin serve from me than off a flat serve, simply because the flat serve moves straight through the tennis court. Most players see a ball moving on a straight line so much better than a ball that's kind of wiggling around. So by creating, miss-hit contact once in a while with your returner, you're getting them into a negative train of thought on their return of serve when they're dealing with spin. That's a really positive thing before you've even hit the ball, that they're hoping they're not seeing a decent spin serve from you because they don't want to deal with these shanky contacts, okay? The biggest advantage, though, that I think for you guys to have in maximizing your serve when talking about spin is how much we can stretch this tennis court, okay? Back to the idea of the flat serve. It's almost impossible for most players to hit a really good flat serve that moves Mark off the tennis court. So more often than not, when you guys do hit flat, Mark's got to deal with pace, but he doesn't have to work very much laterally. The farthest he's usually going to have to go is maybe 2 steps right and maybe 3 steps left to cover the down the tee serve. But a good slice serve out wide on the deuce side can move Mark outside the alley. And I always look at what happens to the other side of the tennis court. If I stretch him wide there, I got this big open area back to the right. It's a really cool thing seeing a gigantic space at the start of a rally simply because we have command of a type of spin that can open up the court. Same thing with the ad side. I've got Mark there. If I try to go flat out wide, there's a good chance, again, Mark's dealing with pace, but not a lot of footwork. If I've got a nice kick serve that I can move to the outside of the court, and the kick is such a good example of why spin is so important, because not only will Mark have to go out there, his racket might be up closer to his shoulder for contact because the kick also jumps. Not to mention, a little bonus on this side, I can throw the slice serve down the tee, and go out and practice this, you guys. I tell my students this all the time. A really good visual to have to work on a good slice serve down the tee is land it in the ad service box and then see if the second bounce can be somewhere on the deuce side of the court. And it obviously won't carry too far. It'll probably be past the baseline, but if you see a bounce that ends up a little bit onto the deuce side, we want to remember how far that stretches our returner. Granted, it's to the middle of the court on this one, but you guys might find yourselves acing your opponents with a good slice down the tee on the ad side if you can move it into the deuce side, okay? So the tricky bounce, kind of wiggling, dancing around the court is a real bonus. Definitely a reason for you guys to go out and have command of some spin. Making your opponent miss hit is always a great thing. And then stretching this tennis court outside the boundaries of the lines is a massive bonus, okay? So we want to maximize our serves by adding a serious amount of spin. So if you don't feel like you have that yet, let's go out and practice, because that makes you guys a much better tennis player. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys today. Hope that was super helpful. Please click like below this video, and if you happen to be watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.